Hello. Oh, I'm just going to bring the chair in a bit. In fact, I'm just going to adjust this slightly up. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Hello, we're live and it's Wednesday the 8th of April and welcome to the live exercise class. I've gone live 5 minutes early because I want to talk to you about exercise bands. Somebody was asking about exercise bands. I did weights on Wednesday, so I'm doing exercise bands today. Now, I'm sure it won't surprise you to know that just as there are different sizes of weights, there are different strengths of exercise bands. The first thing I'd like to say about an exercise band is get a nice long one. You may not think you need a long exercise band. Coincidentally, I think this is 2 meters. So if you don't know how far away to stand from somebody, just take your exercise band out. These are, I bought from Decathlon. I buy everything from Decathlon. The thing is with exercise bands, different makers have different colours denoting different strengths. So you can't go by the colour. People have asked me, what colour is the lightest or the got least resistance? I can't answer that because they're all different. In Decathlon, the darker blue is stronger than the lighter blue. But just with weights, as with weights, you need to go and try them really. And that's why going to a sports shop is a better idea than getting them online. Once you know what sort of, I suppose if you bought them online, you could buy a range of strengths online. You could buy 2 or 3. I mean, they're not particularly expensive. The Decathlon ones are good quality though. Some of the cheaper ones, they tend to snap a bit. So that's those bands. There are other types of bands as well that have handles like this. So you can hang on to them. Now, when you're using the bands without handles, let's move that. You need a fairly strongish grip because obviously if you're going to be doing, I'm using the lighter one. If you're going to be doing a bicep curl, you need to be able to hold on to it fairly strongly. If you've got arthritis or anything wrong with your hands and you need to hold on to it, you may find that the ones with the handles are easier because you can hook your hands in and you don't actually have to sort of have a very particularly strong grip. I mean, that's just one of the exercises. So it may be that you need 2 sorts of bands. Remember I said with weights, you need more than one sort of weight. The thing about bands is, though, that you can adjust the tension. So if you're not feeling very strong, you can have I'll go back here so as you can see. You notice there's not so much tension on this. If I hold it right down there and stand up, there's much more tension. But if I just hold it there, there's less tension. So as you get stronger, you can increase the tension. With weights, you have to keep increasing the weights if you want to keep getting stronger. So that's one of the advantages of these types of bands. They're easy to get delivered. They're easy to carry around. They're very versatile. So you may want to think about getting bands instead of weights. Although I think both have their place, quite frankly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a video. I'm not going to do it live, but I'm going to put up a video showing you some exercises with bands. But this live stream, I'm not going to use the bands because this is mainly for people who aren't using equipment. I will explain that you can use bands for most of these exercises, although for some of the weights are easier. But I'm not going to be using the bands. The other thing to say is that last class, which was, I don't know what date it is, Monday I think it was, wasn't it? I got cut off in my prime, and that was because I breached copyright by playing some music when we were doing the bit at the end. So you may want to have your own music that you can listen to. That doesn't breach copyright because you're listening to it in your house, but I can't play music, I'm afraid. And I'm not going to sing for you when we do the routine at the end. So you'll just have to either have some real music, or I'm going to have that song that I will not even mention in case anything happens playing in my head. So I'll do it at that tempo. So there you go. Without paying vast amounts of money, I can't really see any way around it. So it's just after 11 o'clock now. So welcome to today's exercise class. As I said, Wednesday, the 8th of April, if you've just tuned in. The exercise class, you probably know by now, is about functional fitness. That's fitness that helps you keep going in your everyday life. Things that might be starting to get a bit difficult because you're sitting a lot. Not just because of the lockdown, but just generally you're not doing as much. It's things to help you with that. We're going to be looking at strength, flexibility, coordination, and balance. Balance is a combination of those, actually. But we will do some specific balancing exercises as well. So it's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. 5 to 11 now for a little bit of information at the beginning. So we'll just start. Yes, it takes the session takes 3 components. It has a warm up. I don't know why I always do this. A warm up, a middle bit, and stretching. If you need, everybody should have a chair. It's not just if you need a chair. Most of these exercises can be done sitting down. In fact, all of them. There's one balancing one that can't be done sitting down, but you can do it standing up and hold on. There's nothing that's going to be too dangerous. If anything hurts, stop immediately. So, just very gently, we're going to be, just as an aside, you notice that when I was using the bands and everything, I've now cleared them away totally. Health and safety, they're a trip hazard. So, anyway, lecture over. We're just going to be very gently marching on the spot. If you can, do it on your toes, but this is the beginning of the exercise, so we're just going to do it very gently. And swing your arms as well, though, because we want those shoulders to get mobilized and the muscles to get warm. So we're just going to do this. I'm going to come a bit nearer the camera now, because you don't really need to see my feet. You know what they're doing. So we're just going to stop this now. And we're going to put hands on the shoulders and have a bit of a stretch. Stretching up nice and tall. And then down and out to the side. Back in, forward, back. We'll do it twice more. When you're stretching as well, stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, stretch everything. In, forward, and then one more time. Up, forward. Okay, we'll do a little bit more vigorous. You probably won't be able, you don't need to do it fast, but just lift your knees a little bit higher and get those arms working as well. It looks very purposeful, this, doesn't it? I'm going to the shops. Well, no, I'm not, because I'm on lockdown, but never mind. One can but dream. So we'll just do this for another five goes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Ooh, ow. Just going to move this out the way. I'm standing side on. You don't need to. You can just stand as you are. I'm standing side on because it makes it easier to see what my feet are doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a heel dig. Just heel digs like that. I know that a lot of you know this, but just in case we've got any new people coming on, where I'm explaining things. So pulling the toe back, keep doing it, and then as you're doing that, you can stop for 2 seconds. Anchor your elbows to your sides, and as you put the right leg out with your heel down, you're going to do a bicep curl, that's this, with your left arm. And then you're going to do opposite arm and leg for each one. Okay? And this is something you have to think about. Just have a check. Are you doing opposite arm and leg? The other day I was sure I was doing opposite arm and leg. And I looked down and lo and behold, I was doing the same arm and leg. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, next one. Oh, I'll do this way. Just gonna, step out to the side. Just out to the side. All these exercises are good because you're balancing to a certain extent. Although it doesn't feel like it, but you are. You're balancing on one leg, and that leg is taking the weight of your body as well as the other leg goes out. All the ones where you have to. I mean, if you think about it, walking is balancing because you're always on one leg as long as you're walking. Anyway, keep doing this. Prayer hands, and then as your leg goes out, your arms go out. Nice and slow. I speed it up there a bit. Nice and slow. That's it. Nice big reach out to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next one is stepping back. Just stepping back. You don't need to do a big step, just a little step. Stepping back, keep doing it. And then as you step back, put your arms out, starting from your chest. And spread your fingers, jazz hands. Give your fingers a good old spread. We tend to forget our hands. They're just the good old workhorses that just do our bidding. If you're in the chair, if you're doing this in the chair, keep doing it. Do this. If you can, just lift your leg up as you put your arms forward. Right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lastly, a toe tap. Just a toe tap. Whereas before you were pulling your toe back and doing a heel dig, you're now pointing your ankle the opposite way and doing a toe tap. Keep going. And again, you're going to do opposite arm and leg. Remember keeping those elbows anchored to your waist. It's just your forearm that moves. I'm only going to count down when we're coming to the end. I'm only going to count down from 3. 5 is a bit much. So 3, 2, 1. Fab. Right. Hands on shoulders. Imagine you've got a pencil and you're going to draw a circle on the wall. So backwards. 1, nice full range of movement. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposite one. Not opposite, but the other hand. And we're going back. 1, 2. Make sure you're doing full range of movement. 3. If it hurts, don't do it. 4, 5. Don't force anything. Just do what your shoulder wants it to do, because it's quite easy to hurt your shoulder. 1, 2. Should I be going forward this time? 5. I'm not sure if I did 2 back or 2 forward. I can't remember. Sorry. Right. We're going to... Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. Right. Yes. Just going to unleash our inner teenager. Why do teenagers get such a bad press? I like teenagers. Right. Shoulders up. Don't pull your neck down and just relax. Feel your shoulder blades sliding up and down. We're going to do 5. So that's 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 5 shoulder rolls back and 5 shoulder rolls forward. So, back I said, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do you get on with those? I find them quite difficult. And my sort of motto is, If you find something difficult, it means you need to do it more, not less, because you're obviously out of practice and your muscles are not used to doing it. So yeah, I do find it quite difficult, that. Remember that routine we were doing before? We're going to put it all together now. We're just going to go through it. So we're going to do heel digs, and then out to the side, and then we're going to go back. If you're in the chair, remember, lift your knee, and then we're going to do a toe tap. And then we're going to do a heel dig, out to the side, back. Remember this, because we're going to do this at the end of the session. Toe tap, without the music. Heel dig, side, it'll be faster at the end. Back, toe tap. One more time. Heel dig, side, side, back, back, toe tap, toe tap. So try and remember that. I know it's difficult. It's very good for your brain, though. It's good for you physically because you're moving, but it's good for your brain as well because it's having to think what to do. Right. So into the main body of the exercise now. What we're going to do first of all is a squat. Now, those of you, some of you will be able to do a squat, which is, I'll do that first. So feet hip width apart, or even slightly wider than hip width. I'm going to turn sideways. A squat really is sitting down without the chair. So you go down like that. If that's all you can do, that's fine. Your weight should be on your heels, and you're sitting down. Your knees don't come over your toes. Sitting, you can go right down if you want, but make sure you do good technique. If you only go down that far, that's absolutely fine. If you can't do that, you need to do it in a chair. Just stand up without using your hands. Try and keep your knees apart. Try not to let your knees come in like that. If you can't do it without putting your hands on your knees to push, try doing it that way. Swing with your arms. If you do need to use your hands, do that, but then lower yourself down without using your arms if you can, without plonking down the last few minutes. So we're going to do 10. I'll start off in the chair and do 5 with you, and then I'll do 5 squats with you. So, ready? So, 1, push your pelvis forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can feel my knees creaking when I do that. And then, ready? 6, 7, good technique, remember. 8, 9, whoo, see, I'm going over backwards because my weight's in my heels. 10. If you can't get to 10, that's absolutely fine. Note where you do get to. With any of the exercises, we're going to do 10 of each. If you can't get to 10, then note where you get to and try and do one more the next time or next week. So the next one we're going to do is, I try to do upper body and lower body. So again, I'm turning sideways. Hands on your thighs. I'm just going to raise one arm like that. And then as that arm comes down, the other arm comes up and this arm comes back. Try not to sway. So that was 1. 2, if you can't get your arms right up, that's fine. 3, if you can only get to there, that's absolutely fine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What I should have mentioned before, and I was going to mention it earlier, but I forgot, is how to engage your core. Do you remember when you're doing this or any of the exercises, it's important to sort of tighten all your muscles that are on the outside and inside so that your spine is straight and you're not wobbling all over the place. So breathe out, pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, and then relax it slightly. And then that's your core engaged. You should feel it, be able to feel it sort of tightened. But then keep breathing. Breathing is quite important. Right, the next exercise we're going to do is for the muscles at the side of your hips. If you're finding it difficult to do a squat without your knees coming in, then that's because these muscles are weak. It's also because your glutes, your thighs and your glutes, your bum muscles are weak as well. But these muscles are the ones that make your legs come in. So as for this one, you don't lean to the side. So engage core, pull it in, and we're just going to go out to the side. Don't point your toe. It's just your leg. Your leg just lifts up like that. 2. Doesn't matter how far up you get your leg. 3. Hold on as well. And 4. Don't let gravity pull it down. Place it down. 5. 6. Feel this muscle pulling the leg up. 7. 8. 9. 10. Definitely getting better at that. Not as hard as it was. Right, other side. Same thing, foot just points forward. Your foot doesn't move at all, it just sort of almost hangs loose. So, 1, 2, 3. Do it at my speed. 4. It doesn't matter how high the leg goes. 5. 6. 7. 8. Nice and controlled. 9. 10. Fantastic. Move my chair out of the way. Right, we're going to start with our arms here. This can be done in the chair if you need to sit down. If you can stand, it's better to stand. Because as I explained before, when you're standing, you may not be aware of it, but your muscles are working, your core muscles are working. It seems sort of natural to us, but standing up on 2 legs is quite a difficult thing to do. We're pretty good at it. And because we're good at it, we think we don't need to practice it, but you should always stand if you can. So hands down by your side, and then we're going to rotate the arms and have your palms facing out. Bring them up, touch them above your head, turn them round, back down again. Turn, we're going to do 10. And back. That's 2. Pretend the air is quite heavy. Oh, it's taking a lot to push it up. 3. I'm going to move back a bit. I'm in the chair. 4. Push down with the arms, don't just let them fall. 5. Everything is a movement rather than letting gravity work it. 6. 7. It's only a small movement, this rotation, but it helps strengthen and give mobility. It's 9 to the shoulder joint. 10. And down. Right, there we go. We're going to do, excuse me a minute. Yeah, I'm going to do this one first. We're going to get our hearts moving a little bit. So I want you to put your hands by your sides like this. And I want you just to lift your knees. See if you can touch your hand. If you can only get to there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all where you get. The fact is, the doing of it is more important than the getting anywhere with it. It's not a competition. If you can, do it on your toes. If you can do it on your toes a little bit, and then it gets too tiring, go back down. No, you don't need to do it. If toes and the same side is easy peasy, folding over here, alternate, get a twist in your spine. Try not to move your hands to your knee. Move your knee to your hands. If your balance isn't good, don't do this. Just stick with that and don't go on your toes. But if your balance is okay, this is the one for you. My balance is okay, but I'm wobbling around all over the place. Right, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to do it for another 30 seconds. Is it like that, don't I? It's difficult to look at my watch, and you've been doing it a bit longer than I have because I had to stop to look at to sort my watch out. Halfway. Oops, I'm getting a bit uncoordinated here. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Hang on. Right. Whew. So we're going to do, yeah, I like this one. Put your hands just behind your ears, the tips of your fingers behind your ears. You're not interlinking your fingers, just the tips of your fingers just behind your ears. Don't push your head forward like that. Try and stand nice and upright. Elbows out, horizontal from the body. If you can't get them out, just do them as far as you can. And then we're just going to touch our elbows. 1, nice and slow. 2. When you bring them back as far as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Right, the next one is a balancing exercise. So have the chair, hold on if you need to. If you don't need to, don't hold on. You might need to hold on occasionally. So what we're going to do is we're just going to raise our knee parallel to the floor if you can, and then raise it a bit higher. And if you want to make it a bit more difficult, stretch it out in front of you. I don't think I'm going to do that today. I'm just going to do the knee raise. So if you engage core, feet hip width apart, pull your navel in, release slightly, and then knee up, a little bit higher, straighten it if you want to, if you're hardcore, and then down. We're going to do 6 of these. And then up, a little bit higher, hold it for a minute, or not a minute, but figurative minute, and then down. I'm going to have to re-engage my core. I've let it go. There we go. It's easier to do this if your core's engaged. Up, and then down. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm better at this than I was at the beginning. I hope you're impressed. Up and down, that's 4. Up slightly and down. And then last one, up, up and down. How was that? I feel it on this leg as well, the static leg, but of course that's taking all your weight. So, right, I'm quite pleased I managed all that without much wobbling at all. Right, engage core, navel in. Right, ready? Up, up, and then down. 1, up, up, and down. When you bring your leg down, don't put any weight on it, just balance slightly. Up, up. Because then this leg takes most of the strain. That leg has to work very hard as well. So up a bit more, whoops, and then down. I wasn't counting. Let's say that was 3. Up, 4. One of these days I'll get the hang of counting. Up, up. 5, last one. And down. Really well done. Did you manage all 6? If you did, fabulous. Did you feel you could do a few more? Obviously, there's nothing to stop you practicing this in between lessons. It wouldn't hurt you to do this every day because it doesn't take that much out of you, I hope. Now, we're going to do this muscle here, the triceps. So I'm standing again side on, so as you can see. Just going to raise our elbow and have our, if you can, get your elbow sort of 90 degrees, a sort of right angle there. Put your hand on your shoulder so that your shoulder doesn't move, not your shoulder, it's just your forearm. So we're going to do 1. If you can't get it up that high, that's fine, just do it to there. 2, nice and slow. 3, bring it back. 4, bring it back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Now this one. Again, yeah, so try and do it without moving forward though. There's no point in doing that. You need to be upright. So out like that. Hold your shoulder. 1. Remember, just do it to your capability. 2, 3. When I do the 4, 5. When I do the video about the bands, 6. I'll show you how to do a triceps exercise with a band. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, because your thighs and your bum are so important, they're the biggest muscles in your body. Well, I don't know about your thighs, but your bum muscles are the biggest muscles in your body. It's really important that they get strong. So because of that, we're going to do more squats. Now, if you need to do them in the chair, that's absolutely fine. If you can't do 10, that's absolutely fine. But it's something to work up to. If you can't do something, it gives you something to progress up to. If you can do it, if you can do a squat, you can go do there, just go a bit lower. That way you can progress the exercise. So remember, good technique. We're going to do 10. So I'm going to go down. 1. I'm going to turn sideways again so as you can see me. 2, 3. I don't know if the microphone can pick it up. 4. But my knees just gave a right good crack. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you finish that, your thighs here should be sore, not sore, but you should know these are the muscles that should be aching a bit, not your knees. Okay, we're going to do a side bend. Now for this, I find it easier if my feet are slightly wider than hip width. We're just going to bend to the side, not forwards or backwards. Make sure it's just to the side. See if you can get your hand to your knee. If you want to, you can put your hand over your head, but don't do this if you've got any shoulder problems. And then up. And then 2. This one can make you dizzy. So if you've got any balance problems, some people have problems with their inner ear, do it in the chair. 3, 4, 5. Oof. Right, other side now. Arm if you want. 1, 2. Me puffing and panting here. 3. I do find this one quite hard. 4. But you know what that means? Do it more. 5. It's very good for you because this is stretching, and then when you come up, if you put your hand there, that's the one that's tightening and pulling you up. So it's very good for these side muscles here. The last one before we do our little routine without music. So get your thumb and hold it with your other hand. It's just so your hands don't fly apart. It's not an integral part of the exercise. And we're going to just feet hip width apart, and we're going to raise our arms, elbows first, so that if you can get your hands under your chin, your elbows should be sticking up. There should be a V in front of you. If you can only go to there, absolutely fine. But it must be elbows highest. Don't have your hands like that. The object is not to get them so far up because your elbows are down there. So we're going to go 1, 2. This is great for sort of lifting things. 3, the muscles at the top of your shoulders, or your shoulder muscles. 4, top of your back, I meant. 5, nice and controlled. 6, 7, whenever you're doing a downward movement. 8, don't let gravity pull. Place your arms down. 9, everything is slow and controlled. 10. Once you've got the technique, that one is all technique. And so it's maybe you should practice doing that. You need a certain flexibility here as well. So, but if you don't force it, if you can only get to there, just by constantly moving, it will loosen it. Right, now, I don't know whether you want to put on any music. I'm going to have that tune playing in my head. We're going to do this routine, and we're going to do it because the beat's going on in my head and you can't hear it. If we get cut off again, I apologize. I don't think we should. It's amazing what robots can do these days. Big Brother is definitely watching us. So we'll just go through it slowly. So it's heel dig, remember, out like that, and then out to the side, back, or knee lift if you're in the chair, toe tap, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One more time. The reason I'm doing this routine at the end is to warm you up a bit so that when we do the stretches, your muscles are nice and warm again. Toe tap. One more time, nice and slowly. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Right, I'm just going to switch on the music in my head and we're going to start. At least I don't have to wait for the intro. Right. Heel, side, back. At least you can hear what I'm saying. Toe tap. Heel, side, back, toe tap. Side, heel dig, side, back, and toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel, side, back, toe tap. Heel, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel, side, back, toe tap. Oh, how was that? Seemed a bit peculiar without music, but I could hear it in my head. So was that okay? I don't know. Maybe some of you were playing music. If you're playing music, it's got a different beat to mine. You may still be dancing until the end of the beat. I don't know. At least you could put something on that was slower. You don't have to do it at the same speed as me. Right, get your breath back, and we're going to do stretches now. So get your chair. We're going to do a calf stretch. So one leg in front of the other, both toes pointing forwards. Just have a look at your toes and check that they are both pointing forwards. Sometimes I find that feet have a mind of their own. The back leg is straight and the heel is on the ground. And the front leg is bent and we're going to lean forward, and you should feel a stretch at the top of your calf behind your kneecap. And we're going to hold that for a few more seconds. And then we're very gently going to bend the back knee. Your heel will come off the ground, but you should feel the stretch going down into your lower muscles and your Achilles tendon. And then we're going to switch. Again, check your feet are both pointing in the same direction. Front leg bent, back leg, heel on the ground, and lean forward. Doesn't matter how you lean forward, you can lean forward like that, as long as the chair is only there to stop you, give you a bit of stability, stop you toppling over. You can do it against the wall if you're out. You don't have to cart a chair around with you. Back leg, bend slightly, toe comes off the ground. Feel the stretch moving down. Move a bit more forward, you can feel the stretch stronger in your Achilles. Okay? You don't have to move the chair around, obviously. I'm doing it so as you can see what I'm doing. We're now going to do the quadricep stretch. The quads are the thighs, the big thigh muscles. So grabbing your shoe, your heel, your sock, your trousers, your shin, if you can, stand like this. Having knees together makes it slightly, well, more excruciating, really. If you can't do that, then just do this. Okay, because this is a dynamic stretch and this stretches it. So those of you that are doing this, just keep doing this. Those of you that can do that, just hold that for a few more seconds. And then dynamic stretchers, keep going. Static stretchers, switch legs and do the other leg. And then the others will keep doing this. Okay? Right. You can stop. Next one is the hamstrings. Hamstrings are these big muscles in the back of your thighs, the ones that hurt when you try and touch your toes without bending your knees. Right, so we're sitting here. I'll just come back so as I'm not behind the sofa. In fact, I can come back quite a long way, can't I? Right, sitting towards the front of the chair, knees at 90 degrees, stick one leg out in front, toe pulled back, dorsiflexion, I knew you remembered. Sitting up nice and straight, lean forward. Now, however much you lean is up to you. Stretching should be challenging but not painful. I can get right down because I'm quite bendy. But if you can only get down to there, that's absolutely fine. Just do it at your own level. I'm going to hold this for a few seconds. It's important to have flexible muscles, especially hamstrings. I think that flexible hamstrings help stop falls. That's my theory. I haven't actually read it anywhere, I don't think. And then sitting up, switch legs, toe pulled back, sitting up nice and straight, lean forward. When we've been doing this for a few seconds, see if you can sort of relax into the stretch. See if you can consciously relax your hamstrings, the big muscles, those ones at the back that are screaming at you. See if you can consciously relax them. And then sit up. Right, this is just before where we got cut off last week. Hands out, palms forward. Feet hip width apart. Round the tree. Your arms have to be round like that. Well, they have to be, but the best if they're round like that. And then hold them out at shoulder height and then dip your head. It's stretching the big muscle at the top of your back. And imagine trying to pull your shoulder blades apart, which sounds horribly painful, but shouldn't be. And then interlink your fingers. If you can't do that, just have your elbows, get your elbows as near to each other as they can, or just bring your shoulders back to pretend there's a can between your shoulder blades and you're squidging it. So if you've got your hands interlinked, just pull your arms out like that, as long as you get a stretch across your chest. So if you're doing it like that, just pull your shoulders back. It hasn't gone off, so far so good. Just stretch it like that. And then release. And then we're going to put one arm across like this. Put your hand on your elbow and just push your arm towards your neck. Quite a lot of people with stiff shoulders find this painful. If it's painful, don't do it. You could do it like that a little bit, but just it's better not to do it than to injure yourself. And then release, and then the other one. If I could ask you, I don't know how this works quite. I don't know whether you have to have a YouTube or a Google account, but underneath where you're watching me, or underneath the video when it's been saved, it says subscribe. If you could click on subscribe, it doesn't mean it's going to cost you any money. It's just like you're following me or friends with me, like Facebook. And also there's a little bell in the top right hand corner. If you click on that, the notifications whenever I post anything on YouTube. Last arm one, hand up like that, down the back like that. If you can't get your elbow right or your arm right up like that, I can only get to there, it's absolutely fine. If you've got shoulder problems and it's painful, don't do it. And then just push your arm back slightly. And that stretches this muscle here that you were working when you were doing the triceps kickback. And then swap arms. There we go. Right, the last three. Need to sit down for this. And we're just going to look down at our lap, put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Do not push at all. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down slightly. And then look up. The next one is the stretch to the side. So look to the side. Put your hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center like that. You have to look at the screen. Resist with your hand, so you're going. And then relax, and you should be able to turn your head just slightly further. Hold it there for a few seconds. And then look, bring your head back to the center. Turn to the right. Hand on your chin. Try and turn your head to the center. Resist with your hand. Create that tension in your neck. Have that fight going on. And then relax totally, and you should be able to turn your head a little bit further to the right. And that's it. And we didn't get cut off. We didn't have any music, but we didn't get cut off. So if you could just click the subscribe button, if you can. I think you have to have a Google account. I don't think you have to be signed into YouTube or anything. I'm not quite sure how it works. And then if you click the bell as well, that would be really good. So I will see you on Saturday, 5 to 11. And we'll decide what sort of little information bits I'm going to give you.